Yo guys, this is Reinhardt, it's your favorite Russian talking, and we're doing something cool today. What I'm gonna do is, basically, I hit the 10,000 views a day and I hit 20,000 subscribers. Awesome, thanks a lot, thanks for your support. But with a great power comes a great responsibility. Holy shit, that's such a cliche, by the way, With a great power comes great responsibility. The fuck? Honestly. Seriously, it sounds so boring. Just listen to this. With a great power comes a great responsibility. That is something that a 5-year-old probably can actually fall in love with, but in all honesty, what the hell? With a great power comes great responsibility. I guess, yes, the statement is true. To some extent, you are responsible for more lives when you have more power. Let's take it, fucking presidents, and our invading Afghanistan while we are having economic crisis in the United States. Great responsibility right there, my friends. But in all honesty, aside from the political shit that I want to get into, anyway, I do get a lot of comments, and I cannot answer to all the comments all the time. But the funny thing I did today is I went to the inbox, and there was like 86 comments from just like a couple days. And basically what I did is I just went through the old comments. There was a lot of questions, and I decided to make a vlog, and I'm gonna make it on a weekly basis where I'm gonna be actually answering your questions in a vlog format. So good thing about this kind of adventure that I'm gonna do is, A, you're gonna see my beautiful face more often, admire how good looking the fun never mind. And the second one is going to be about promoting interactivity between me and my subscribers, you guys, and promoting you three actually asking more questions. So I have the different tabs right now for excuse me, for basically my questions here, and let's get started right now. And I'm gonna be going like from tab to tab to tab, so I'm not gonna be looking neither at the camera. Here, I just looked at you. You feel better? For those people who actually want me to look at the camera. And I'm not gonna be looking at myself talking in XSplit, because that's what I do. I know it's very, very weird, but I am gonna go over the freaking comments and stuff, so it's gonna be very nerdy and analyzing. The first question I have for the commenting is, why the hell can the hunter use Stampede in arena and DKs cannot use the army? It's a Blizzard's logic, my friend. It's a very, very logic that is undeniably the best logic in the game. Simply put, because it's such an amazing logic, like the same logic they used to when they actually said something like, oh yeah, Hungry and Cold was way too overpowered, so we took it out of the game. But what we're gonna make it do instead is have a Warrior Sphere, gonna be 1 minute cooldown, which is undispellable with the RNG fear pathing. Great. And we're also gonna give Paladins the Blinding Light. Yeah. Yes, my friends, that is a logic at its best. I have no idea. That just logic sucks. And I have no idea how to answer that question at all. In fact, I think that BM Hunters do way too much damage in PvP right now. Way too much. A good BM Hunters. Like, a power shot into a Blink Strike yesterday did 160k damage in one global on my Rested Droid. Basically, Hunter can solo somebody right now. A good Hunter. A good BM Hunter. And I do believe that the Hunters need to be toned down a little bit in their damage department. BM Hunters, that is. Because for the amount of CC they have, there has to be some sort of a trade-off. But anyway, that's my personal thing. Please don't kill me. The next one is, Reinhardt, could you tell us your best idea for Demonology builds glyphs for BG's arena with and without a healer? Having a hard time pinpointing those. Okay, so let's get started. For the Demonology, the glyph that you want to use when you're playing with a double DPS, you want to go glyph Imp Swarm, you want to go for the glyph of Demon Hunting and glyph of Hellstone. And if you get focused away too much, go Demon Hunting, because it's very troll and you can survive for a really long time with Demon Hunting. If you play with a healer, probably still pick those as well. If you play against a double DPS 2s, I think you're interested in doing 2s than 3s, because you set with or without a healer. So against a double DPS, Demon Hunting. Against in the Battlegrounds, again Demon Hunting. I just like that variation. In all honesty, the only thing I usually swap sometimes is I usually swap like Glyph of Hellstone to something else. And the reason why I'm saying it is because I like Demon Hunting. It's a pain in the ass to kind of get used to, but once you get used to it, it's very fun to manage. For example, you can manage it to actually get some demonic fury. Ironically, I know, you can actually use that to be a flag carrier. You have a lot of diversity. You can run around troll people, face roll roll your face on the keyboard and win against the warriors. It's just such a fun glyph to actually play with, like a tanking Demonology form. I like it. It's like a bear form for a druid, and I think it offers way too much utility for just one glyph slot. So in all honesty, like, I would keep that. I would keep Glyph of Hellstone because combined with Dark Bargain, it actually does heal for a good amount. And the last but not least, Imp Swarm, because you do need some sort of like a really good burst with the Imp's cooldown. And the Imps shoot like a machine gun, so those three are gonna be major. The only difference I'm gonna say is, ironically, is gonna be actually located in your lower tier. The only thing I'm gonna say, one thing, I forgot. If you're running against a heavy melee train cleave, Glyph of Shadow Flame is actually amazing. A 70% snare, AoE snare, is actually amazing. I tried it out, I tested it out, I really liked it. Sometimes I pick it instead of Glyph of Hellstone. Anyway, now let's talk about the minor glyph. And for arenas, pick whatever the hell you want to, but do not, looking at you, my friend, do not pick Hand of Gul'dan, because it's not really good. But for RBGs, pick Hand of Gul'dan, or for BGs in general, because it's amazing. Being able to place it on the ground is so awesome, so damn awesome, and you're gonna have to pick it. So that's basically it for that question. Hopefully that helps. Okay, next question. First, I would like to say you're easily the best DK on YouTube right now. Thank you. That aside, I play TSG, I like Frost, and I can see the damage it can put out. Should I even use Necrotics as a Frost? Yes, God yes, hell yes, absolutely yes. The thing about Necrotics, believe it or not, ironically, when you pop all your major cooldowns, Pillar of Frost, Activate Trinket, you have a proc Trinket going, you know what scales the best way with all those procs. Not your fucking Obliterate, and not your Howling Blast. Actually, Necrotics. Believe it or not, simple truth. With all the CDs popped, Necrotic actually scales way better for PvP than Obliterate or a Howling Blast or Frost Strike. So yeah. Do you have to use it all the fucking time? Absolutely not. If you have a Killing Machine proc and you're on a closey, yeah, hell yeah, use Obliterate over Necrotic. But Necrotics do have a nice niche, and you do have to be using them quite often. The casting speed, slower casting speed is very nice, but also, in all honesty, it's not the casting speed that matters a lot, it's actual Necrotic absorption. And you can absorb a little bit higher than Unholy Decays when the Pillar of Frost is up. Okay. Down with that one, on to the next one. Are you going to play Warlock even if it's going to be slightly nerfed? Define nerfed. You're talking about the Blast Spheres going away? I'm actually pretty ecstatic about it. I always called it a Mongoloid ability. I never liked using it, to be honest. And I actually like that they got rid of that stupid ability. I'm not gonna be one of those little YouTube bitches who actually cry and bitch and moan because they cannot hit 2.2k or some crap like that. No, I really like that the ability went away, and I will be playing Affliction Lock because they do give us 10% damage resistance, and they do give a nice few cool tricks to Affliction Locks. But that's about me, that's my partake on it. So the next question. I'm new to WoW, what add-ons are you using, or how do you make your display like that? The way I make the display like that is I'm a magic, my friend. A magical Russian. No, that's just my personal preference. This is how I like my UI. There's not much I can say about it. What the actual thing I'm using, dude, I use my add-ons. I have an add-ons video. Just go to my channel, scroll down below, or just type something like ReinhartDaRussian add-ons video, and you will find those add-ons videos, and you can use those. And I have all the links where you can download and those as well. Another one, quick questions in terms of you say, okay, this is about my PvP power and PvP resilience, and that's actually gonna be, it's a very good question, probably the best so far right now here. The quick question, in terms of say rogues and the talent elusiveness, you take 30% less damage. How would that factor in? Okay, that's a great question. It actually works not only for elusiveness, for IBF, for any damage mitigation abilities. Defensive stun, yeah, that's as well. Okay, So that's very nerdy and theory crafty, and this is where me actually studying mathematical science kind of helps a lot, because I like to calculate shit. Okay, let's put it this way. Right now, if you're fully resilience gem, you're gonna be sitting roughly about 66%. But for easiness of calculating for me, let's round it up to 66.6%. So the next 1% resilience, 1% resilience, going from 66.6% resilience, I know there's gonna be a lot of math. Please don't be scared. Do not close this video. Don't be scared. I'm with you. I can walk you through. Okay, so let's say you went from 66.6% resilience to 67.6% resilience. That 1 extra percent of resilience is gonna be equals to 3% damage mitigation. Calculations are all in that video. So let's put it this way. If you take Iceborne Fortitude, that Iceborne Fortitude in fact actually gonna add, think about it this way, it's gonna add 6.66% resilience. Guess what? The defensive stance is gonna add about 8.3% resilience to you. Elusiveness is gonna add 30%. When the people say shit like that, and it fucking pisses me off too. Yo man, I'm a rested druid. I just used IBF, I used Iron Bark, I used the freaking I used the bark skin and they still killed me. I was practically immune to damage. I was immune to damage. No, you were not. Who the fuck you shitting? No, there's such thing as also a diminishing returns. Okay, so basically what you do, here's what you do. This is how you calculate it. Let's say you pop a, let's say it's sitting at 60% resilience, right? And you pop a 50% damage mitigation. Guess what happens? It doesn't give you 50% damage mitigation. No. Well, it kinda in a sense it does, but it doesn't at the same time. But it doesn't. The funny thing is it doesn't, because you have a 60%. What you need to do is you need to think that resilience is factors in there as well. So you take 50% damage mitigation, right? For example, and you have 60% resilience. Guess what's gonna happen? You multiply 50% damage mitigation times 0.6, basically how much resilience you have, factorial wise. 0.6, you're gonna end up at about roughly, no, not 0.6, 0.4, I'm sorry, my bad, 0.4, basically 1 minus the resilience. So let's say you have 50% damage mitigation, look at me, I know it's very confusing. You have 50% damage mitigation, right? You multiply it by 1, which is 100%, 1 minus your resilience number. Let's suppose it's 60%, 1 minus 60, or 1 minus 0.6. So it's going to be 0.4. So in fact, that your damage mitigation cooldown actually only added 20%. So you went from 60% resilience to, let's say, 80%. Which is awesome. So let's say the frost bomb does 300k damage. Let's say not 300, let's say 200k damage, right? And you went from eating 120k frost bomb damage, right? 120k frost bomb damage to eating roughly around like 80k. Which is not 80k, like, wait. So you went from 60, wow, sorry guys, my bad. You went from 60% resilience, you're gonna be eating 80k frostbomb damage. Let's just read with a 50% damage mitigation popped, you're gonna be eating 80k resilience, 40k damage. Wow, I'm actually getting confused with the math as well. No, I'm not getting confused, I'm just talking way too fast. So now let's say you have that 50% and you're sitting at 80% damage mitigation. Let's put it this way. Let's put somebody put a paints up on you. And let's put it this way. You also pop a bark skin, which is 20% damage extra mitigation. Guess what happens? You take a bark skin 20%, then you multiply it by 0.2, 1 minus your resilience effective. You're gonna be ended up at 4%. So at that time, your bark skin actually didn't add another 20% damage to make you completely immune. No, it actually added only 4% of effective resilience. And that's how it works. Yeah, I know, pretty funny, huh? So when the people try to stack a bunch of cooldowns and think that they're gonna get immune to damage, ironically, they will take a whole lot less damage, but they're not gonna make gonna be immune to damage. So elusiveness, in that case, if you're sitting at 66% resilience, which most of the rocks do sit in that, it's not gonna add 30% less damage. It's gonna add, well, it's gonna add 30% less damage to you, Dan, but in terms of effective resilience count, it's only gonna add 10% to that. So it's still gonna be good, it's still gonna be good to use, but please just don't think that 30% less damage is fucking godlike. That's why I got pissed off a lot about Iceborne Fortitude, because it's just such a low number. Unbelievable. Anyway, let's go to the next question. I'm sorry if I bored you with too much math. Why no look at the camera? My friend, I don't know. My camera is upstairs, up on top of my monitor. I hate looking at it. Okay, I don't know why I don't like you looking at it. I like looking at screen. I like look at myself in the screen, see what kind of mongoloid gestures I'm using. I like to look at, like right now, YouTube and stuff that I'm actually going to be talking about. So I don't know, it just kind of defeats the purpose. I know looking at the camera builds a very nice rapport. Do you feel fuzzy and warm feelings in your stomach now that I'm looking at you? Do you feel them? Cool. I don't give a shit. Next question. What did he use to record? What did I use to record? That's question by Max4Z. Max4Z, what I'm using to record with is Bandicam. Simply put, I think Fraps maybe could be a little bit better on the rendering settings. But the funny thing is like, if you have a really good video, I usually put a shit tons of rendering settings on my Sony Vegas, and even though it could be a little bit of a higher quality when you render it with a record with the Fraps, just a little bit, tiny bit, from what I heard. I personally didn't even notice the difference, but if you even get that bit of a tiny extra, like better, I would say, like overall better, I don't know how to call it. You get a little bit better quality with the Fraps. The funny thing is when you upload it to YouTube, YouTube butchers the crap out of your video. So that difference won't count. But the thing is, Bandicam uses like 5 to 8 times less data, less like storage capacity. Next question. What adding do you use to display your necro text? The code the necrotic track. Go watch my add-ons video. And last but not least question. It's actually a pretty good question too. As an Affliction lock, should I gem Mastery or PvP Power? The reason why I'm saying it's a good question is because I am not actually 100% sure what gives you more damage, PvP Power or Mastery. That's a very, very good question. I'm not sure how they stack. I know 360%, well, I know like 360 is equals to roughly like with 1.1%. No, actually I have no idea how much the actual raw statistics, but I need to check on it. I actually gonna log in right now and they do calculations on it. But I know you think I'm making fool of myself, but I'm really not, because the answer is actually, like, I'm talking about the damage difference between Master and PvP Power. I'm not for Affliction locks. I'm not 100% sure about that. I'm just gonna test it out. But the reason why I'm still answering right now before I'm testing it out, because it's very, very simple. You know what you should jam as Affliction lock? Freaking resilience. Everybody, KFC but rapes you, like spreads up those cheeks and rapes the crap out of you. So the thing is, as Affliction lock, you need to gem the crap tons of resilience. You need as much resilience as you possibly can get. So with that said, that's the reason why I'm just interested personally myself. But to answer the question precisely, yes, my friend, you're looking at me, I'm looking at the camera right now, I'm addressing that person. You get the warm fuzzy feelings yet? You have to gem resilience as Affliction lock. No other way to go around it. So that's it for the group of questions. Like, keep asking those questions. I'm not gonna guarantee I'm gonna answer all of those. I do get a shit tons of questions. Probably the best way to actually, if you want to have your question answered in the next vlog format, and it's a good question, it's not like a stupid mongoloid question, then the best way to do it is probably to actually go to my Anouk, which is linked below, and message me on Anouk. That way I'm probably gonna respond like 90% of the time. So other than that, like, guys, thanks everybody for watching this video. Hope you like this Q&A section. Let me know what you think about it, and do svidaniya, my friends.